Hello friends and welcome back. Yes, welcome back to Blueport, Pleasure Beach. I am unfortunately all alone today and I will probably also finish off this park alone. So that will mean without Jure in that sense, and I have Dave helping me with kind of like this area here that is the last area of Blueport. Yes, guys, this park will come out this year on the workshop. I am not even lying. This is the real deal. You heard it here first. Yes. So as you guys know, I have been struggling figuring out what kind of theme that I wanted to have here at the end of the park. So since I have Dave helping me, we kind of like went back and forth because we kind of want a coaster here. And we don't know exactly yet. It'll probably be a Woody. I wanted a bobsled kind of, to be fair, but I'm not sure that that's how we're gonna do it. But next video we are gonna talk about it and maybe even see the new coaster that he built. He's gonna get it here after me, and then we'll see whenever we will get a new video out. But we will definitely get one out from the newer coaster Extreme, which were the one I did 8-9 months ago that Dave actually went in and kind of fixed up because it was kind of, who are we kidding? It was kind of shit anyways, right? So he made it supreme. So that's so good. I'm happy for that. So as I said, good news. We are finishing off this park this year. I will give all my priority to this park so I can get it done, because we are there. We're not even talking like a month or two of work back here, depending on how quick we work. But that will actually make this park finished, and we will actually have a park to put out on the workshop as we had last year. It's kind of like a park a year, isn't it? Hopefully the less parks we will get, the better and quicker we can get through these projects. I can tell you this, that when we finished Blueport, we finished above end last year, and then we finished Dania the year before that. So next year we will have Galatea, we will have my Project 11 as I called it, my dark ride. We'll have Blackmire obviously, and we have Grimsgate, which also I guess will be probably our first priority here after this. And then we obviously have all the zoo projects too, and then the community park. There's still a lot of things to take here, right? So anyways, what I'm doing here today, friends, is that I found apparently something's called, see if I can say it right here, Schwarzburg Station, or station, which apparently is a station in Germany that is very popular. And I didn't know that when I found this sort of reference picture. So I kind of like just went with that and try to build it and try to integrate it into, you know, a theme park kind of vibe building. Because I wanted this building to be the transitioning of this area here before you enter the Alpine area. I've made a few things on stream as well, which is also what we're going to give you guys, like that little tour when Dave is joining me, when we're going to talk about the Coaster 2. I made a few little buildings too, which I probably also will put on the workshop the further in we go. I will probably see what kind of buildings I have in this park that can be used as blueprints. So as I said, this is Alpine. This is also kind of like the first time I've started or I've tried this theme here. And I was kind of like, you know, I don't want it to become medieval because that's kind of like what I like to build, and it's very similar in some parts, but also completely different. So I tried to do my best here as I could, and as you can see, I know we skip like a lot of things, but I just kind of like show you guys the main part I'm doing, and then I kind of like bounce over to another thing, because otherwise this video would be, it would be a long ass one, and we don't want that, right? So I'm doing a little bit of custom brackets here. Some of the roofs needed to be custom, and then some of the roofs needed just to have the normal in-game pieces. I do try to build as much as I can without ThemeMaker Toolkit, but I know this building here itself, like we have the brick wall, we have the plaster pieces, those are ThemeMaker Toolkit, but the rest is kind of like in-game pieces. And I'm also gonna do a collection of Blueport, so whenever people want to download this and go in, they can just go in and download the ThemeMaker Toolkit collection. And that will make it way faster for you guys to download this. It's so, I always feel so, it's always so nice to talk about a project that's about to be finished, because it's kind of like an era ending, right? I mean, Blueport has definitely been one of the projects that I've liked a lot, because it has this very realistic approach on things. And if you guys know me, it's not my go-to thing to build realistic stuff, but at the same time it also kind of varies, and it kind of makes it nice, since I build all these sort of fantasy stuff, all these things you don't really see normally in life, maybe more in movies, shows, games, and etc. You know, and I'm okay with that. I think it's perfect how this is kind of standing out and becoming more or less. So yeah, that's kind of like how, you know, if you guys don't know the Schwarzburg train station, that's kind of like where I get my inspiration for this build. And I also have a few other builds that I want to do. We have the monorail station that obviously needs to be some sort of Alpine. Maybe we can do some fake mountains and stuff for it, so they actually, you know, queue into a mountaintop or something. And then we need obviously a beer garden, which is going to be with a restaurant, and then the coaster, and then a flat ride or two. So I would say the most tricky part about this build was actually this part of the roof. I don't know what you call this, but it's like half tilted a little bit, the roof, and then it kind of like goes into this. It has this sort of very well, where literally only kind of Alpine buildings kind of have this vibe, right, where the two roofs connects with each other at the top and make like this little triangular piece. And it was honestly very difficult. You guys are seeing like the fourth attempt of me trying to do this. I actually cut out a lot of stuff because it was a big struggle. It was a big struggle for me to kind of like figuring out how I can do this and can I make it look nice at the same time. You know, all these things are very difficult to figure out when you are in the build, when you're on the zone. But besides that, when I first built this or started this, it just took off. Like, everything was just perfect, and I felt like the whole composition, how it's placed, you saw it on some cinematics. Like, I really like this tower here, how it's peeking out, so you will actually be able to see it from the Art Deco area, or like the natural more area. Because this park has not really a theme, you know, because it's a low budget, realistic park, kind of like I was about to say it again, Blackpool Plaza Beach, right, which have this sort of low budget theming. Some of it is pretty cool, but you can definitely also tell that some places they don't really spend a lot of money on, you know, and that's kind of like how this whole park is. So I would say the most dedicated and themed area will probably be this Alpine area here, because all the others are just Art Deco or just like realistic buildings as you see in theme parks. So yeah, that's just a little thing there. So as you can see here, I'm trying to make the transitioning into the area, right? So I want these arches here. There's normally windows in like an office or something, but I feel like, what if I integrate this and make it arches and then have it like a little transitioning stuff? So when you come from this part, you walk into this area, and of course with Dave's help, he will probably build a coaster that, like, as soon as you enter these arches here and go into the Alpine area, you will be met with this enormous woody coaster that is there, right? Or maybe something else. Time will tell, but I can definitely say, guys, and I'm 100%, that this park, you will get this park on the workshop within the year is over, and then Blueport is kind of done. It's always nice, right? So I'm adding a lot of windows here, trying to add a little bit of trims, just trying to make this building look nice. And I struggle a little bit with it some places, but overall it actually turns out pretty well. Just with a little bit of stubbornness, then you can literally do whatever you want, friends. And I also like to do this thing where I built in the windows into the wall, like so they are not outside, because that's usually not something you'll see normally either. So it's very good to do this, you know. And Alpine has always been to me like, I don't know about what it is, but with Alpine, I just always feel like it's a sensitive, because it's so unique, the buildings. Like, if you want to build Alpine, you gotta do it accurate, you know. And I feel like I kind of did this here. I feel like I did it justice. If you know how this and you have some pointers or tips for my next build, guys, then please leave a comment down below. Let me know, right? Because there's always time for change and do things better, right? That's what we do here. And you can also join our Discord. We are a nice little community with 300 people that are just super nerds when it comes to Planco or Planet Zoo and all kind of other stuff. So yeah, also streaming on Twitch, by the way. So everything is down below. So as you can see, we're slowly getting further into the build here with having a lot more windows and just trying to add things to it. And as soon as we do that, you see how much the building changed. It is actually crazy just how these things goes with trim pieces, foliage, windows. You know, there is all kind of things here that really just makes this build pop up extra. I do miss that we don't have like some like these planks here. I wish we had them smaller, or at least the spooky planks in a smaller, because that would be really nice. That would help a lot. But nope. I also do go in and improvise a little bit where I add my own things, like I add these little extra window tops on the roof. I also add a little bit of different trim. I add a different clutter, you know, like just giving it my own kind of vibe, my own kind of touch. And it actually works quite well, if I have to say that myself. It's I'm a big fan of this park, not gonna lie, like as I said, because it has this realistic approach to it. So when I get in here, I can literally, I feel like I don't have to go over the top to make something that actually looks good, because it is realistic compared to if it's like a fantasy or steampunk. If it's Blackmire, it has to be steampunk, right? And sometimes when you limit it yourself with like only one theme and stuff, it can be really tough to move forward. Like, so it's really nice that you have this sort of variation in your builds and your projects. Just keep on moving back and forth to them. I've also been a big fan of Alpine builds. I think they're super pretty, especially with all the balconies, and then you have like all the hanging vines and roses, all the hanging roses and stuff, flowers hanging on the balconies too. Like, there's just something about these builds, and they're just so charming, you know. I've never been to the Alps. I hope one day to go, and then I definitely have seen lots and lots of these pictures and buildings just standing there and looking hella dope. I'm a big fan. So here I'm trying to make some custom chimneys. They have like these pointy kind of chimneys up here, and it kind of works well. So I used a little theme maker toolkit piece here to kind of like get the roof on top of it, so we can kind of get it to look the proper way. I don't even know if I add smoke in here. I don't think I do. But yeah, this was also, like, as you can see here, it was also a struggle to try get through here. But we did it, and the building really looks nice now. I also, before I end off the building, I also stored like a little plaza in front of the building. You will see that, where I add the little merry-go-round, and then I kind of want to do a little, you know, opening plaza before you enter the Alpine. Like a smaller transitioning area towards in here, where you actually come from the more modern Art Deco kind of style. And then we can even add a few other buildings here, more just natural, realistic builds. I think that's gonna do wonders for us. And this building actually is pretty big too, so it actually takes a big part of the section here, which I really don't mind. This was all on purpose because I don't want to build small anymore. I just kind of want to build as much as I can, like widen it out, so we don't get any issues or burn out, because I'm honest with you, this park needs to be done now, as I said. Some projects just keep on going in a loop, and that's not what you want to achieve. So I'm very excited to show you guys this park when it's done. And I will do cinematic, I will do a little park tour myself. I will obviously show you guys around in the park, and then give you guys the workshop link when we get that far. Adding more windows, just adding more decorations, guys. Literally, it's all about just to get it to look nice now and more normal. I do adding a few more windows, like that is actually see-through, and then I just add fake windows too. The entrance you see me have been building here, it's not gonna be able to walk inside. They're gonna be able to do that from the other side when you're in the Alpine area. So this one will be like a shop and stuff. I already put in some facilities and shops and all that stuff in there, so people can actually walk in. So that you will see it from the other side, like from the entrance to the area. You will see people walk in there, but you will only be able to walk in there through the other side. I also do a few ramps, like wheelchair ramps and some stairs and all that stuff. Kind of get that really realistic vibe going, you know. And it works. It really works. Like, I am super fan of this build, and I'm so excited to get started on more Alpine stuff, because I found very cool reference pictures on Pinterest that I think I'm gonna use to build at least the station for the chairlifts, which maybe will be the next time if we don't have the coaster already. I don't know if Dave is gonna be building a few things too. He probably will, but if not, then I will obviously just build what I need to do around the Woody. I don't know if we will add a fourth coaster, guys, in here. We do. Maybe it could be a very, very small, like a boomerang coaster, maybe, or it could be like a kiddie ride. That might work wonders here too, if there is room for it, or we can maybe just place it in between Adrenaline Zone and this section here. There's a lot of options, you know, and we only have 2 coasters now, and with one more we'll get third, and we'll have a go-kart track too, and we have a few flat rides. So overall, I mean, for a small park, three coasters in this sense works. I guess we have a spinning, we have a launch, and then if we get a Woody, I just feel like a kiddie ride would work too. What do you guys think? Let me know down below, guys. What do you think? Should I add a fourth coaster, like a little kiddie ride somewhere? Find room for it besides the Woody we're gonna get. Yeah, let me know down below. And also, I don't know what this area should be called. Like, just keep in mind that it's something with Alpine. Like, I don't want anything with like horn or something, because that's just too. It's just too like Matterhorn, Jägerhorn, like with sills, right? We do too many horns. We don't want that. And we need something new, something refreshing. So if you guys have any suggestions to what we can call this area, leave a comment down below, guys. I wanna hear your thoughts on this, because I am kind of lost. I don't know, to be fair. I know what I want to build, but I just, when it comes to names, you know, it's not my thing. It's not my thing at all. So, but hopefully we'll get there. So here I want to add a little extra door. It actually on the sorry, on the video, on the picture itself, you can see it have this little door here with a little window, and I think that's kind of like a little extra office space, or like a little storage room, and I kind of like that, how that looks. It's really nice. So I'm just adding a few bricks here, single pieces, because that's how I can do it to actually make it look nice. And after I do that, I try to add another building on this side here that kind of has this sort of half-shaped style, and kind of add this extra thing to the building, as you can see here. And then I do a custom roof as well. So it's kind of like a mix. Like, this building is completely like custom, right? But in total, it's actually also a good mix of all kind of things put together. As you can see, I do the custom roofs here with the brackets. If you want to know how to make proper roofs, I have a lot of tutorials, Wikipedias that you can learn from. Maybe get a few tips. I have all kind of stuff. I have roof tutorials, clutter tutorials, and some tips and tricks for you to become a better builder, if that has anything for you. So here I'm adding these tunnels here. I didn't want it to be open. I kind of wanted just like a straight tunnel, and so I felt like that was kind of on place. So I did that, and then I kind of like just went back in and did a few things. I did actually do a snowy Alpine park as one of my first projects, but it has nothing to do with these sort of buildings we're doing today. This is really Alpine chalets, right? Where the others were more just, you know, resort kind of buildings, and I feel like this one has definitely a different vibe. So here we're going on to the last section, sort of, to the build here. We're gonna add a few doors, or a door, and then a few windows, and then I'm adding my own little arch glass on front of the door, which actually makes it look super, super cool, if you ask me. I am honestly super happy for how this build turned out, friends. And this only excites me more to get back into it and start building a few things, and also just gives me the boost to go in and just prioritize and build this, because I know, as I said, we are so close. We're so close. So all of you guys have been asking for a while, what's happening to Blueport? Well, I can tell you this, that I have been kind of working alone on this with all my other projects, and that's why it's kind of like been dragged out as it is today. But I can tell you, we are 95% done, guys. It's a coaster and a few more buildings, and then I'm calling it a day. So you guys can get the opportunity to check out this park yourself. I will obviously, as I said, make cinematics, park tour, all that. None of that will be missed. So you guys do not have to worry. And I'm also kind of like in this sense now that I don't know, honestly, if I will start any new projects in Planet Coaster. I already have 5 still, if not 6, I think, after I finish this. And I don't think it's any good call or any good move for me to start any new projects, because that will only postpone the others, and we can't keep on postponing them. So all these projects I have will definitely get priorities whenever they get, like, you know, when they finish off, then all of these will definitely get a swifty hand to get it all done. Because I think the next project after this might as well be Grimscape, a few months in or something, and then I have my adventure dog ride, which is kind of like heavily Tomb Raider inspired, which I have worked on stream, and then we all obviously have our Planet Zoo videos, and then hopefully at the time when we're done, we will get a Planet Coaster 2. Wouldn't that be that would be amazing, guys. That would be absolutely epic. So I'm doing the last parts here, just adding a few more trims, adding a little bit of decorations, all the things that I kind of need to finish off this building here. And then I told you guys about the wheelchair ramp, which is here. I'm just making sure that everything works. This is a very realistic park, so we gotta have sure that all these things work properly. That's just how things are. And then the last bits of here and there. And then we are slowly moving towards the end, actually, friends. I'm adding the last door here, and then you will just see here at the end me adding a few foliage pieces, few benches, a little bit of clutter. You know, we gotta have clutter to finish off our build. And then I can kind of say that this build on this side, where we're looking at right now, is pretty much done. I did a few things off camera behind the thing, kind of like to connect everything, kind of like make a path and stuff, and it works very well. But that will be obviously for next time we do that kind of thing. Here I'm adding some flower beds, just trying to add a little bit of Alpine vibes to it, because it's kind of like clean and plain right now. So I feel like adding this would do us good, so we can kind of have a few trees and bushes and kind of have people walking around this place here, right? So I really like how this turned out, and then a little bit of bushes, foliage, and yada yada, right? So that's pretty much it for today's video, friends. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are just excited as I am for actually us finishing this park here. And I will obviously also put out a POV of the new coaster we will be building, and also expect a lot more shots videos from all of my projects. I'm gonna give them all a little cinematic 1-minute short video so everyone can kind of see the projects I'm doing and I have been doing. I'm not going back to old projects, obviously, even though Dania would be a perfect example to go in and kind of like do a short on that, and with some new reshade filters and all that. But that was kind of like my go-to thing here, guys, where I tried to build the Schwarzburg station, which apparently I honestly haven't really searched for where it is. But Schwarzburg, it sounds very German, I assume. But if not, then I'm sorry, and leave me a comment down below if it's not. So guys, let me know down below, comments, leave a like if you think it deserves it, join the Discord, and just have a great day, and I will see you very, very soon again in Blueport. Take care, homies. Bye bye.